Hello everybody! Welcome back to another episode of Minecraft How to Build. Manticore here, and today, as you can see, we are standing in front of our Explorers Guild, which we completed in the last episode, and I also went ahead and added some decoration to those flags, which were previously just blue. I thought that design was kind of cool. It kind of resembled a bit of a mountain, which felt appropriate for an Explorers Guild. But anyways, today we are going to be building up a watchtower. So without further ado, let's get started. Coming around here, you can see that I went ahead and added in a small path right off the verge of the Explorers Guild entrance. And so if we follow this little path right through here, it goes right under that little land bridge tunnel thing. And it comes through this narrow valley, and then it wraps up here onto this hill. So this is the location that we're going to be building our watchtower on. As you can see, it's got a pretty nice view. It sort of has a small view out over the guild, the tower, Wizard's Tower I mean, along with the mansion, and you can just barely see the witch's house way back there in the background, along with our Gothic church. So this has a pretty good view, along with anything that might be coming from further down the river. And without further ado, let's get to the actual building. So, for this build, we're going to go ahead and just start laying down some oak lumber here, and let me see what we've got in between. 5. Oh, that's not too bad, I don't think. I haven't really thought about the measurements for this build, so we're just gonna see how this turns out. But let's see here. If we come up around here, see, I don't want it to be too wide. I want to try and keep it as square as possible. Ideally, I'd like to do something that's round, but we might not get that opportunity, so let's just start with building up these 5 high pillars of oak logs, and then we'll come over here into the corner and do the same thing. And what do we have here? 6? Okay, let's come down here. 6 as well to keep that square like I mentioned. And we'll go ahead and just connect these at the top with some horizontal logs. So now, the design or inspiration that I'm going off of for this build, because as you folks probably know by now, I do like to have some kind of general idea or inspiration in mind when I start building something. And for this case, it's sort of the orcs watchtowers in Warcraft 3 or World of Warcraft, depending on what you play, if either. But so something like that, which is sort of a tall, narrow build. Generally would have spikes around the side, but we might not be going that far with it. But I do want to have something that sort of has a general incline and is very, I don't want to say pulley, but full honesty, I think that's what it is. So we'll just go ahead and keep building this upwards and seeing how it turns out. Now, this time around, I think we'll go ahead and just do 4. And then we'll go ahead and do the same thing where we bring it into the sides. And up to here. Now, you might notice on my hotbar that I have both stairs and a ladder. That is simply because I honestly have no idea what we're going to be using. While ideally I do want to be able to use stairs, I think it's going to be very hard to get them to work out properly with the way that this is built up. Okay, so this is what we've got so far now. It's got a slight incline, and I think I want to go up one more with it. So let's go ahead and stick that into the corners, and does 3 look high enough? Oh, we might need to do one more. Okay, so let's up that to 4, and we'll do the same thing over here. And this might be too much of an incline, almost too pyramid-y. So if this looks too small, we might have to go ahead and actually place these on the outside corners still. Okay, so it does still look very pyramid-y, as I mentioned before. So let's go ahead and give this a try. I want to go ahead and apply some oak logs to the outside of these corners. And I'm not deleting these on the inside just yet because I think we might be able to use that. So now let's go ahead and do one maybe right about there. And then we'll take one horizontal and bring it out like so. Okay. This is turning out kind of interesting, but we'll see how it looks once we get all sides on. Alright, and then over to here, down to here, and like so. Okay, so that's very posty. I really don't know how to describe that, but let's go ahead and try doing some diagonal support beams down here, because these need a little bit extra support as well. They can't just be further up. Alright, we'll do something just like that. And hopefully this looks alright, because I'm trying to avoid putting another long horizontal log in here. I want to try and switch it up a bit. Okay, so that's interesting. Now, when I mentioned my inspiration earlier, this obviously isn't an exact replica. This is just sort of a basic design that I'm following or trying to get inspiration from, and I think this is going to be very different in some aspects. Now, I want to go ahead and grab some spruce here, and I actually want to go ahead and lay this down along the top here, because I think that will help. You know, maybe if we did something like that instead of these beams, because we do have a lot of log going on in here. Alright, so let's go ahead and try that. We'll replace these horizontal beams with some fence up at the top here. Oh, there we go. Oh dear. There we go. And we'll bring that across. And you know, I thought we could do some cool little torch positions using some of these fences on the sides. And I'll show you guys what I mean by that here in just a minute. Okay. Now, I'm liking that more. It looks better than what we had with the logs. And I think we should try replacing these as well. And the reason I'm using spruce fence with the oak logs is simply because the spruce goes better with the darker color of the oak bark. So that is why I'm using those instead of actual oak fences. Okay. That's kind of cool. I'm liking that. It's got a neat design. Now, let's go ahead and come up to here. This is where I want the top actual watchtower section to be. And it's pretty high up here, actually, looking at this now. Says the person who has a slight fear of heights. But we're gonna go ahead and just ignore that, and we're gonna go ahead and try wrapping some fences around the top here. I don't know if this is exactly what we want to do. We might wind up doing something a little bit differently, but I want to give it a try. Okay, so just like that now. I think that's a good amount of fences. They add on to the build, but they aren't too distracting compared to the lumber logs themselves. And so now coming back up here, I think we can go ahead and I actually want to try doing maybe a half slab, because my original idea was to use this level that we're at here as the foundation that you would walk along. So how would it be if we did something like this? Okay, a little something like so. Okay. Yeah, I think that's a good level, and you can still see a good bit of the fences sticking out there, so I think that should work for what we're looking at here. And then I'm going to go ahead and fill this inside section with spruce slabs. And then the reason that this is okay is because I actually want to put the wall up around here. So if we do something like that, although I guess you do have to walk in somewhere, so I guess you'll be able to see the things just a little bit. Oh, but you know, I think I have an idea for covering that. Okay, now let's just go ahead and bring this up here like so. And we might wind up replacing a layer or two of this with stairs in order to give this building a little bit more depth up at the top. But for now, I just want to get these walls built up. And let's go ahead and grab those stairs now, because we can go ahead and make these arched. Now, I don't think I actually want to do the doorways on every side, so I think we'll go ahead and just do a window along here. And that's a door. This is a window. There we go. Okay, that's kind of neat. Alright, now let's go ahead and... how do I want to do the sides? You know, I'm actually thinking that we go ahead and get rid of these corners, because if we can make this more of a rounded roof, I think that will make it stand out a little bit better compared to the wizard tower, which we have right back there in the background. I don't want to do something that's exactly the same as that. So I think something like that looks pretty good, and then let's go ahead and grab those spruce slabs again. And we'll go ahead and extend this walkway around the sides by one. And as much as I would love to do stairs, I think we're gonna have to do a ladder on this. I just don't see stairs happening. That seems very tricky to do. Alright, so now that's looking pretty good. Let's see, how should we do the railing section? Maybe if we did some more logs. I know, more logs, bear with me. Trial and error. Maybe we just do something like that, but should we add these slabs to the bottom is the question. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna need those. Or maybe we do a different color fence for around up here. Maybe now's when we break out the oak fence. I'm up for experimenting. That's what this whole build is. Okay, so now let's come down to here, bring this up. Whoops. There we go. Oh, I forgot we're not doing that. Okay. I guess we'll just place that there and try that. Then over here in these corners. So I think half of this I want to go ahead and do as without the slab underneath it. And then the other half I think I want to check to see how it looks with the slab. So now let's go ahead and come around to here. We'll just place down these slabs for now to make things a little easier. There. And that all the way around. And then let's go ahead and get rid of this first half of slabs. Oh, you know what? That was supposed to be a oak log. There we go. Alright, and then for this we can go ahead and leave the slabs on since we are testing that design. And then we'll place those down on the corners. So pretty much they're going to be parallel to the, or maybe not parallel, but they'll be on the same row as the corners of the building that we took out before. Okay, and then on to the last side, which is there, and the fences. Okay, so this is how it looks on the side without the slabs underneath, which it looks good. It has a lot more depth, but I don't know how I feel about these hanging like this. It looks a little sketchy versus what we have over here, which, whoop, I guess we never did the fence. Yeah, so that's what we have with. And you know, I think what we're going to go ahead and do is just the half slabs under these fence sections. So let's go ahead and get rid of the slabs underneath the logs. Whoops. There we go. Okay. Oh, gotta get rid of these still. Okay, so I kind of like it. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Now, for over here, I think we need to build this up. So this is sort of like the watermill design in the way that it has a wraparound porch or deck, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what the technical term is, but we'll go ahead and build up these. Pretty much they're the outside logs, and we're building them up 4 high, so one above that inside building that we have so far. Now I think I want to go ahead and do something like this for this next corner, and the ones where we previously got rid of corners, those are going to be gone. These are just reference things. Whatever. They're temp holder, placeholder, no. Basically, they won't be around long. That's all you need to know. So you could use anything for that. You could use dirt or whatever you want to use. Alright, now this is looking pretty cool. It's interesting. I like it. This isn't really what I had in mind, but it seems pretty decent. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and try stacking up some nether bricks on top of these logs that we just set down. There we go. And then we'll do some half slabs around the outside, and we'll come back and see how that looks. Okay, so we've got a really basic lower roof in here now. And you know, it is pretty flat, but let's go ahead and add an outer ring 1/2 slab further down, and we'll see how it's looking from there. Okay, so that's what we have now, and I think that's a pretty good width. I don't want to take this outer edge out any further because it is already a good distance out from the original base. So now let's go ahead and look more towards this inside section. Now I wanted to put a solid nether block up above that log simply because I wanted to make sure that there weren't any gaps up above it. But I think this is actually a little too far in, so let's try adding some slabs around the outside of this, and then we'll build the actual blocks that we have there up by another 1/2 slab. Okay, and then do the 1/2 slab on the blocks. And I think this should give it more of a gradual incline. And that looks pretty good. Now let's go ahead and do... let's try doing a full block on this ring. Whoops, not right there. Right in here. And then I'm torn as to whether I want to bring this up into a peak or if I want to leave this open. And the reason being is I want to actually have some signal fires on the outside here. So maybe we can build another 1, 2, or 3 of these around the town. And then that way, if you see invaders coming, you can light the signal fires and have that all set up as a type of warning system. But so, let's see, we can either do those on these sides. I'm almost thinking over here on these sides. No, I'm just playing around with this for now. Can these float? Oh, they can. Interesting. And I do have a shovel because I don't want these to be lit just yet. These are more for the situation of when you are being invaded, so they wouldn't be lit naturally, but maybe something like that. I was thinking about having it sitting out over the ledge, but I don't want to bring it out too far. What if we did them right about in here? And I know the smoke wouldn't really be able to travel unless we did some kind of little vents. Ooh. Ooh, let's try that. Let's grab some stairs. And we'll move the oak block. And is this the right thing? No, it needs to be one more in. Okay, so right here, I think? So what I'm doing is I'm just doing some upside down stairs, so it looks a little bit something like that. That's not quite what I wanted. Let's see, how can I go about doing this? Maybe if we do something like this? Okay, so that's more like what I was thinking. That way it's covered from the rain, but smoke can still escape out through that little hole, even though it's pretty far to the side. Maybe we do something like that? Oh, I'm torn, folks. What if we do that? Okay, I think I like that, so we'll go ahead and do that. So on these inside two, we're taking those out, dragging this out, and then we're turning these into upside down stairs. Okay, I think that should work out pretty well. And then we'll keep the stairs on us because we might actually need them here. I'm going to go ahead and fill in this little section. And then we'll go ahead and do this. Okay. If we place down these last few campfires, then we'll put them all out. And so the idea is that you'll be able to see the glow of the fires. It's not necessarily about these smoke signals that go up. But we'll go ahead and do that for now, and then I'm thinking maybe we even extend... Let's try extending the oak slabs first, and then what about the spruce? How does that look? Okay, I think the spruce looks a little bit better, so we'll go ahead and border the fire section with spruce slabs. That way it's not like you can just walk into the fire, it's got some kind of little thing around it. And then coming back into here, I want to go ahead and grab some spruce trapdoors, one of our favorites, and I want to lay these down right on top of here. So now there's no deathly gap underneath that you have to walk over. Alright, something like that should be good. And then we need a spot for the actual ladder. Not right there, but maybe... Oh, I don't know, folks. I think we're probably just better off getting rid of that and then taking this all the way down to the bottom. Okay, so now we've gone ahead and completely dragged down this pillar, and as you can see, it was the upper inner one that we brought down, and we threw on a ladder as well. So climbing back up this real quick, you'll see that I put a jungle trap door on, and that was simply because we never use these. I thought it would be fun. Why not? But, so other than that, there's just a few things left that we have to do, and that is to light up the inside of this watchtower a little bit more, because when it's late at night, you're definitely going to want to be able to see, and you don't want monsters spawning in the spot that you're hunting or shooting or guarding from. For the outside of this building, though, I want to go ahead and actually do torches instead of lanterns. No real reason in particular for that, other than I think these will look good. So we're taking a spruce fence along with a torch and sticking them right here in these corners. Let's go ahead and just throw up the fences first, and then we'll go back around with the torches. There we go, and there we go. Okay, so now, overall, this is a pretty good watchtower, if I do say so myself. Let's go ahead and head out into the world, and we'll take another look at this. So, it's got a unique shape, which I definitely really like. I don't know if I'm the biggest fan of nether brick for the roof, but you know, you can go ahead and substitute that for any block that has both slabs, full blocks, and stairs, depending on what you want to use. I do really like this design though, and I'll probably, like I said, make a few more around town, that way they go together. But for now, we are mostly done, except for a little bit of landscaping that I have to do right down here to make this look a bit more natural. But folks, that is pretty much going to do it for today's episode. I hope you did enjoy. it as much as I did because I wasn't sure what to expect with this one, but you know, this turned into a pretty cool build. So if you did, don't forget to hit that like button, and if you want to see more awesome builds like this, don't forget to hit subscribe because they do come out about 2 to 3 times a week. That is going to do it for today, folks, and until next time, have an awesome one. Bye!